everybody. My name is Brooke Williams. I'm an associate professor of the practice of computational journalism and a partner with Ziva over there, with Ziva, the partner with Spark. She's a part of the Center for Data and Computing Sciences, and I'm at the College of Communication. What I'm going to be talking about today is a collab that we've created in which students, computer science students, partner up with journalism students to produce data-driven investigative reporting. So I teach journalism and my students write for publications, and this is really a very exciting way to bring together data science and journalism. Journalism's highest calling is to hold powerful accountable and promote justice, and I feel like we're really making a difference here. This is one example. I'm just going to show you some stories. Journalists are good at those that we've done so far. Now, this consists of a course and then also an internship program. In this case, students looked at standards within Boston for hiring women and people of color in construction jobs. And they found, this was a follow to many stories in GBH, but in this particular story, after a semester working on this and then also working in the summer, the student team found that the city was not meeting its goals. It was abysmal rates of meeting its benchmark for hiring women and people of color. And also the law, the rule had no teeth at all. And in another example, a student team, again, of data science students and journalism students worked with NBC here in Boston. And they worked with arrest data, which was flawed. It was flawed, but it was all that we have, right? Looked at arrest data and found that there was great disparity and people who were arrested. So for instance, in Newton, it was I believe that 3% of the population was Black and some 70% of the people arrested were Black, something like that. So very, very large disparities. Now, of course, the students and the faculty teams, and we also have hired project managers, we have this whole lab, they have to face some difficult questions, right? So they talked to the police chief and interviewed the police chief. And the questions are like, maybe people didn't live in Newton, they came to Newton and committed a crime there, right? We have to consider a number of variables. And also the quality of the data, what might be missing, what might not be there, what might be misinterpreted. So it's a really great practical experience for the students as well in the civic tech atmosphere, and toward justice. Another example was for CBS. And in this case, the student team looked at Paycheck Protection Program loans. You remember those COVID loans that went out? Yeah. In this case, what we do is we take the anecdotal and we go systemic. And I feel like that's what actually really has an impact, right? And it causes policy change. As a journalist, we want to have an impact. We want to make a difference. And that sometimes that difference is policy change. When you use data, you can go beyond he said, she said, they said, and you can go to here's what's going on, here's what's actually happening, right? And so that's what we're trying to do here. In this case, they looked at the PPP loans, and they found that there was a huge disparity in how they were distributed among women-owned businesses and people of color. The last example that I have here, and I had hoped to have our Boston Globe front page story on these slides by the time I gave this talk, but it is held right now. Reasons beyond our control, so stay tuned for that. And this is a project that Ziva and CDS, I think, have been working on for some amount of time. But we, in the Justice Media Collab, we looked at the voter data and are helping Yahoo Miller, who is the editor of the Bay State Banner, a Black-owned paper in Boston, to help understand voting patterns and racial trends and gender trends in voting patterns, residents, makeup of cities. And we're also looking at real estate with him. But stay tuned for some additional publications very soon, including in the Globe and the Justice Media Collab. We're going to do some really great things. Thank you so much.